Living the dream, cutting the green, you know.
Hey, it's Aaron with the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care Podcast.
Hey, this is Tony's Lawn Care Talk.
Hey guys, Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life of Missouri.
Hey guys, this is Dan White with Lawn Care Unscripted.
What up guys, it's Phil with Phil's Lawn Care.
And you're listening to the Turf Nerds.
Greg.
So
that was a great little pre-intro for this, Greg. Yeah, we're talking about, we sit down, Greg likes to have the cord kind of in his back, which is the probably more professional way to get it out, but I like to have it just kind of
hanging sloppily.
This just hangs sloppily down. These are our Audio Taquina broadcast headsets, Greg, and we'll be using these at the expo. Man, it's a week away, isn't it?
That's it's next week, isn't it? Wow, that's coming up real soon.
We've been talking about this, Greg, for a while. Promo code Turf Nerds, guys, if you want to save last minute. I think the last day to use them, Greg, was it the 19th?
I believe so.
I think it was the 19th.
Yeah.
Turf Nerds, all one word. Just get people to use that. And then something else, the reason why we're at the live studio today, Greg, why don't we tell everyone why we're here together on a Sunday afternoon? We did a couple of things today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a couple of things. We did a promo spot for the prayer breakfast. Remember that prayer breakfast, guys? Wednesday morning, 6:30. Doors open up at the Crown Plaza, right across from the expo facility there. And remember, we're going to have a great speaker there. He's going to be talking probably about his linebacking days, and then Mike Singletary is going to tell us a little bit more about his, other than his football, his testimony and what God has done in his life. So looking forward to hearing that. I'm excited to hear that too.
Yep, doors are at 6:30. Breakfast is at 7, right? It's going to be really good food. Mm-hmm. Before we go to the hustle and bustle of the expo, guys, come on out to the prayer breakfast. You'll be out well before the expo even opens. That's plenty of time. It's just getting our ugly butts out of the door and up, Greg, right? Because I think before that, our plan, we'll announce this. We're getting in on Tuesday. Hannah and I will actually be getting in on Monday. We'll kind of explain this. Maybe we'll drop this twice, but we're getting in Tuesday. We'll be walking around that welcome reception for a bit, and then we're getting a small group of guys. You guys aren't invited. We're going to go bowling at Vernon Lanes around 8:30, maybe bowl for like an hour or so, and then I'll come and tuck you in bed, Greg, so we can be up for the breakfast. But if you guys are interested, we'll send me an email, turfnerdspodcast@proton.me or turfnerdspodcast@gmail. Apparently, the email is so private, Greg. I was telling people I don't think people are even getting them. So we've had people that have asked for stickers. I still need to get those out, but we knocked out the prayer breakfast invite, and then the other video that we did, Greg, is we changed the belt there on that Bobcat. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, the Bobcat. I had to change the belt on my Bobcat about a month ago, and I noticed that when I tried to look it up, because there was a bracket over the, for lack of a better word, over the tensioner pulley, and I had to go through the process of figuring that out. And then just doing the belt myself, there was nothing on there to show you how to change the belt on your Bobcat. So we went ahead and cut a short video on that, but it was kind of interesting because it's just when you have to do the belts, they wrap around and they twist around, and you just got to get it in the right spot. And it took us a couple times you won't see in the video, but we did go ahead and cut the video for it.
That should have been a blooper reel. Like, we knew how to do it, Greg, but we were trying to explain it too quickly. And the worst part was you have to put it on the clutch first, the belt, and then it loops around part of the tensioner pulley, and then it has to loop back to the other side of the deck, and then it goes to the first spindle, then second spindle, then guide spindle, then third. It was just sometimes a community. You know what? We could have maybe have done a viral video of just all our two failures before we got the third take was the charm, wasn't it?
Yeah, we videotaped we did the first one, and that didn't go well. And I think we got halfway through the second one, and we stopped doing that one. Then finally all right, let's just stop this, make sure. It's just you got to get the belt in the right spots, and that's the important part, is being able to get that taken care of.
Yeah, and we had asked, some guys on our YouTube channel had actually asked us, like there's one guy, like we had gotten a comment, and we had some other guys asking, how do we change the belt on the ZS4000? This is for the 52-inch, but this will work for the 61 as well. Yep. I mean, changing belts, I've changed it on the Multiforce. I do not know how to change it on the Cub Cadet yet, but apparently when we were talking to our buddy Tyler over at Burdick Street, he was saying that they used to deal, we had opportunity this past summer, guys. We talked about to demo like a Stelmo or Skag, and not the Graveleys, but anyways, the manager of Burdick Street Equipment out there in Oxford, he said that wasn't he saying that taking off the belt on the Cub Cadet was like a lot harder because mine's like a 2020 manufactured mower. He was saying that they did something funky with it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was a very difficult process, surprisingly, in changing the belt that I recall, and not going to be easy to be able to do that. So I say sell it before you have to change your belt.
Yeah, probably. It has 980 hours on an update, Greg, on the Cub Cadet. Turns out, regrettably, I'm not sure. That's Greg's white wine there. Yeah, no, he's a fancy wine drinker. No, it's just water. So turns out that the oil hose, there was a leak there in the oil drain hose and also the O-ring. I was going to repair it myself, but they ended up just repairing it, and it was a $350 repair. So I just said, you know what? That's fine. The Weingarts has treated me really well, so I'm going to talk to Cub Cadet and Kawasaki at the expo and be like, hey, look, because get this, that mower was manufactured in 2020, but it sat for 2 years. So I'm sitting, well, this thing just sat. And
Okay. Was it sat at Weingarts or it sat in the shop, in the factory?
I don't know if it sat at Weingarts or the factory, but usually when you get mowers, like my Multi-Force, it was manufactured like literally
That year.
like that year or just like that past November. So I purchased it in the spring and it was manufactured that past November. Like that Cub Cadet, or not Cub Cadet, our Bobcat that we've been demoing, that was manufactured, I think, November of 2024, and then we just got to try it out this year.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's the prototype. That's next year's model.
Yeah, is a prototype. I thought he said that was out. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Did he?
it's the prototype. So, and it's got a couple of neat features on it. So
We've been having
last year's.
We've been having some fun. So before we hop into our green industry rundown, Greg, let's give him a little update there on that our good old Bobcat.
Bobcat's been running really well. I've had an opportunity. We've got a couple hundred hours on that right now, and we're going to be working on it in the fall for some cleanups. And we went ahead and we talked to Ron over at Bobcat, asked him about the X-Blades, and said, hey, we're kind of curious about this with the X-Blades, and it's a prototype. So I said, we would like to be able to put the X-Blades on that to see how well it does. And he said, yeah, go for it, because he wants us to put some hours on it and put some labor into it. And so we went ahead and purchased some blades for that, and the X-Blade from Ballard. And
good old buddy Corey Ballard, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's busy over there just flexing. I mean, I'm kind of mixed bag on the X-Blades, but Ron said just beat on it, right? So
Yeah.
what better way to beat on a machine than slap on us the X-Blade adapter? But they do work pretty well. I've heard from the dudes in the industry too, Greg, and you've seen it on all of our various Facebook groups that we're part of. They said that the X-Blades, at least for fall, at least for pounding down the leaves, powdering up the leaves, they do a pretty good job, don't they?
Yeah, that's Raleigh had Corey Ballard on his show, and he said that's a great time to use the X-Blades, spring and fall, and particularly the fall, because that's where you have a lot of leaves. And so he said go ahead and use that, and in that time frame. So if you don't want to use the X-Blades all year, and just use it for the fall cleanups, and hey, I've used those before on my mower, one of my walk behinds, and I tell you what, that thing just blew. I'd get grass going two passes over. This thing was blowing 3, maybe almost 4 passes over.
Imagine if you hit like a golf ball, Greg, or like a baseball, better yet, a tennis ball, right?
Oh man, you hit tennis balls occasionally?
Oh, those go flying, don't
Yeah,
they?
those shoot because they're big enough, and golf balls you do some damage on those, but those tennis balls they shoot.
Haven't you hit like dead squirrels? Like
I hit another squirrel the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was dead squirrel. All of a sudden,
Why don't you tell us about that?
You hear that sound, like if you guys have been to the batting cages when that ball releases out of the batting cage, and you hear that thump, and that's just what it sounded like. So it was it was last second. I'm going along, and that thing was just sprawled out, laying out on the ground, and
flying squirrel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we have any environmentalists listening, they'd be like, "Oh, this show is terrible," but
it was already dead.
You're speaking of Raleigh Spencer. He does, just to clarify, guys. He has a podcast. Hey, check it out. It's called Backwoods Lawn Talk. I actually helped him change the name because first it was East Kentucky Lawn Care Bros Podcast. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, you're isolating yourself with that name. It's and just do it Backwoods Lawn Talk. Like he's southern out there in the sticks. No Cameron Duncan sticks with his Ventrac, but Raleigh's a good guy and had Corey on the show. So Ron Scheffler over at Bobcat, guys, we've been pretty pleased with it. GS 4052. some small things in here and there that I don't like, but all in all, it cuts fine, stripes fine, and there was a weird like streak issue on it, but it's a prototype, and that streak actually was going away.
Yeah, that
like
seems to have resolved itself.
It would show up, but then it kind of like goes away because I came back like the next week and the cut looked kind of perfect. So that there could be something with the deck on the bottom, but for a 26 horsepower on a 52, we've talked about this a lot, Greg. But guys love to talk mowers and love to talk shop. I've been like overall pleased with that like mower though too, and that thing is fast. So
yeah, it's nice and fast, and that 26 horse on that 52-inch deck is ideal. I think. I mean, if you want to go a little larger, you can, but I think on the 26,
what about a 60 horsepower on that, right?
Yeah, 60 horsepower, we can work on that. But if you get that 26 on there is a pretty nice motor for that 52-inch deck. The other thing, they've got a 12-volt on there, a 12-volt adapter.
Oh, yeah. Tell them about that.
Yeah, that one actually really came in handy because at first I was looking at it and thinking, do we really need a 12-volt adapter here? But it actually came in handy for me because we had a flat tire on it. And so I have a 12-volt tire gauge or tire pump. So I started the mower up, plugged it into that, and was able to pump up the tire on it. So it worked out.
You know what's interesting about that 12-volt on that, Greg, is Corey Ballard had some stuff that you could plug into either your 12-volt on your mower or the battery. Like they had like a hand warmer thing.
Oh, yeah.
That might not be a bad idea when it gets really cold, guys, because, I mean, well, let's see. We got how many weeks left of mowing do we have? This upcoming week, we're going for the expo. So 1 week, the end of 3-4 weeks.
We probably got about 4 weeks because we'll probably,
4 weeks.
My opinion is we'll cut it. I'm cutting everything through the end of October. I'll probably cut about 50% the first week of November and 25% the last 25% in that second week of November. So occasionally I'll have a onesie twosie somewhere after that, but then after that we'll start the cleanups. I think we almost take a week off before we do cleanups though.
Yeah, we were kind of doing that because the weather kind of gets cruddy though. Like we kind of take that, like we're in that awkward transition, guys, where we mow through the first or second week of November. And listen to what Greg said. Try to squeeze out those extra couple cuts. I've already had people come to me right now saying, is this the last cut? I had a couple people this past week ask me if this was the last cut. I said, I said, your lawn's still growing. Okay, sure, we're finally getting the colder nights. It is slowing down, guys, but slowly creep it down. Don't butcher it on the last cut, but just have the last cut respectable. Like not too short, but not too long. Just right. I was actually debating Joe Dunbar. He was saying that, not debating. Joe knows a lot, and we look forward to meeting him at the expo. It was a great episode with him. He says on his last cuts, he likes to kind of keep long because it helps, I guess, protect the snow with moisture during the winter. And I get that, but I've left like a couple long though, and they've been matted there in the spring, and it gets way too like thatchy and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think you leave it long because you get snow frost.
Yeah, and, snow mold.
Snow mold, and that can do some damage to your lawn. Plus, for cleanups, it's a little bit easier when you got when you don't have the longer grass there because the leaves hopefully blow off.
Yeah, when
blow
you're doing
over to the neighbor's lawn.
There you do, guys. Here's a good tip: when you're doing cleanups, I'm hearing a weird noise. Is it coming from me? I don't know. This is so fun. This is why we do live podcast here on the spot, guys.
I'm not hearing anything.
There's like a hum here. I don't know what that is. Is it me?
Maybe it was me humming.
I don't know.
I don't hear anything.
I don't know. There's a weird hum. Anyway, so when you're doing cleanups, guys, try to cut it like really short.
Before the cleanup.
Before the cleanup. So all the leaves can just blow on to someone else's yard, right?
You also don't want to be picking up a bunch of grass during your cleanup.
No.
That's the important, because, if you're filling bags or throwing them in, back of a trailer or back of a dump trailer or dump truck, then you're getting a lot of grass in there too. You don't want to do that. So I want to pick up leaves. I don't want to pick up a bunch of grass because grass is heavy.
It's always good to have the grass blow far away to the neighbor's yard. So, Greg, we're going to hop into it here. We got the green industry rundown where we talk about some different things that have happened in the green industry the past couple of years, Greg. And we're starting off with, we have like 5 different stories here today. But this one was coming, Greg, from, looks like this one was coming from February. Michigan court ironically, we found a story in Michigan first. This is where, trust me, we're not favoring anything here, but it says Michigan court uproots part of verdict in favor of gardener whose organic lawn was killed. And we'll kind of read part of this. A Michigan court struck down a large chunk of an $88,000 verdict for a Detroit area organic gardener whose beloved clover lawn was destroyed by a man spraying herbicide at the wrong address. Well, just to start off, Greg, I mean, he's spraying off there at the wrong address. Who do you blame? The guy going to it or the company that he works for?
That's a little bit of both, probably. Did they give him the wrong address, or did he just read it wrong?
I don't know. It says Marilyn Mack reported depression, anxiety, and random crying after what happened at her Oak Park home in 2020. The appeals court upheld a jury award of $22,000 for harm to the property, but erased an additional $66,000 for non-economic damages. The court, in a 3-0 opinion, didn't doubt Mack's anguish. Rather, its conclusion Thursday was a technical one, noting that Michigan law doesn't allow non-economic damages on a trespass claim. Clover is a nuisance to some homeowners. To others, it's a joy. Mack lovingly seeded her lawn with clover and watched it grow, while that plant also satisfied the bees and other pollinators. She already sounds like she's on the left persuasion there, Greg.
Yeah.
But disaster struck nearly 5 years ago when an employee at Natural Way Lawn Services sprayed her lawn with chemicals. He was supposed to spray a neighbor's property, but had relied on GPS and went to the wrong house.
Wow. Yeah, shouldn't you double check?
Yeah, that's basically it. If he goes to the wrong house, Greg, I mean, who do you blame?
Well, in his case, it was his fault. He relied on GPS and he took it to the wrong. It sounds like to me he just looked at the wrong address. Because sometimes when you look at your GPS, you go, "Wait a minute, am I over here? Or is it this house or is it the next house?" So, but he apparently, I don't know if he didn't look at the street address or the street number on the house. So it sounds to me like it might have been the sprayer, the guy.
Well, it's kind of like these DoorDashers, Greg. I mean, we've driven for DoorDash there on the winter and part of the spring, and I've had people dash here. I feel like half the people that, no offense to the guys, half the people that are driving for DoorDash, they don't read the address, right? I mean, they don't read in our industry either. It's like this guy clearly just relied on the GPS. I mean, you would think as he's going over there, this is clover. Like, put down the right. I mean,
maybe that's why he thought he was spraying it, because then it was all clover.
That's just pretty sad. And it says he shouldn't have walked onto the property. This Mack's attorney, David Zupke, told the appeals court there's a long-standing company policy. Look at the address. It's simple. It's 15 feet away. The numbers are huge.
I just said that. Yeah.
So
that guy might not be employed there any longer.
Natural Ways attorney Joseph Frazier declined to comment Friday. In a court filing, he said that the jury should not have been allowed to award an additional $66,000 for Mack's idiosyncratic attachment to her lawn. Mack not only lost her clover lawn, but some organic spices, veggies, and strawberries, too, after chemicals drifted elsewhere on her property. I could spend every single day in the dirt, she told the Detroit Free Press in 2023. Oh man, that's a pretty funny first rundown for that. Wow.
Speaking of dashing, one time I went up to your grandparents' house in the middle of the winter when they used to have a place down in Florida, and as I'm going up to the front door, there was a bag sitting at the front door with food in it. So somebody was dashing and they put it. I have no idea how long that thing sat there. And if it was there that day or a couple days, and I opened it up going, what is this? And there was a nice burger inside there. So it looked like a really good burger, but thought about eating it, but I just didn't know how long it had been sitting there.
Yeah, about to say, it's like, where's the date on it? If they had like a, they had like a receipt there or something. So why don't we pop on here to the next one, Greg? We're pulling this all up from the phone. I was just using Brave browser, and it said I had an ad blocker on here, but this, why don't you read part of this? McKee's Land Management named RBGA Business of the Month. This is by the Telegraph. It happened in July in 2025, Greg, so you can get your foot in there, and then
located in Godfrey somewhere. Godfrey, what city? State? I don't know. Godfrey. Began as a small landscaping business started by a young teen couple who needed a little cash for gas and getting into the football games. and was known by Corey and Torrey Landscaping back then. Unofficially, the company had been around for 16 years now, and still owned by the same company. But let's see, they were named the business of the month. And I apologize, guys. I'm trying to look through here. It started as a small business, and now they're expanding, and they've grown their business to the point where they're adding some additional services to their program. They also they're looking at doing some septic stuff and some additional work. They've acquired a bunch of equipment, and let's see, they've added to their equipment several sizes of excavators, a skid steer, dump truck, as well as several attachments for all these. This started as a teen couple trying to get some extra spending money and go to some of probably the high school football games. And so now they've grown into quite a large business right now here. And they I actually get to help those in my community or on a first-hand basis. We've been blessed by the ability to be able to really have to give back. And they were able to adopt 4 children from the Walmart Angel Tree. So that's Project Angel Tree. That's out of Chuck Colson's Project Angel Tree that they started. That's for the prison ministry. So these guys in the prisons, they recognize that their children need some presents, and they'll give the information to Project Angel Tree, Chuck Colson's prison ministry, and then people at churches, or maybe it looks like Walmart is doing that. Good for them. And then they'll allow them to be able to buy Christmas presents for kids. So,
well, isn't this pretty awesome, though, Greg? It was a teenage side gig, and it evolved into a full land management firm, septic, grading, and was named Small Business of the Month. Like, you can't beat there, and that's a pretty prestigious accomplishment. And that just goes to show you guys business evolution from basic lawns to heavy works. I mean, licensing, equipment upgrades, community roots, scaling without losing local identity. And you have guys that start out with your basic lawn and landscape business, Greg, and next thing you know, they're running big companies. I mean, we've kind of talked about the idea of like upscaling, me getting some more employees and taking it to the next level. I'm just not sure if I'm in that spot yet, but there's guys who listen that do that, and it's like more power to them for being able to do that.
Yeah, you've got crazy. The ability. I would have, if I had started this business 15 years ago, I probably would be looking into doing something like that and having the opportunities. So, guys, there's opportunities. We're a couple other stories we're gonna see that relate to that as we're going here. But hey, if you've got the opportunity, some guys, hey, they love solo, and right now I'm loving solo. But as I hit fall cleanups, I might need additional help, and so I might be able to bring on somebody to help me do some fall cleanups. So I don't know if you're going to be doing that as well, but maybe pick up 1 or 2 people to be able to do the fall cleanups. But with those Ballard blades, we might not, on that 52-inch, we might not need it.
You might not need any help with those Ballard gold blades, or Ballard adapter, X adapter, or X blades. Man, sometimes his products are a tongue twister, Greg. But that's a really good story though too. I mean, it's crazy. Side gig, and the couple is still together, so that's another food for thought. Okay, guys, the third one here on the rundown. I don't really know much about this, but we discovered this one. This happened this past May. GreenPal launches on-demand lawn care app in Laredo. So I don't have any drops here. Maybe I'll put some there, but Texas. So GreenPal, it's a national leader in on-demand lawn mowing, has launched its service in Laredo. The lawn mowing app allows local, pre-screened landscaping pros to competitively bid on lawns, ensuring homeowners receive the best price for all their lawn care needs. Now, how do you bid? I'm not sure this is like a thing for me, Greg. How do you bid on lawns on an app? We do have some like local. There's other lawn apps like Lawn Guru, right? It's called Lawn Guru, I'm pretty sure.
Lawn Gurus, yep.
And there's another one though too. What is it called? It's Lawn Guru and there's something else.
I don't know. I just knew of the Lawn Gurus.
Guru. Let's see what else pops up there when I search this, because that's interesting that they can. So there's Lawn Guru, Lawn Guru Pro Lawn Starter Lawn Starter. That's also one too, but it's a national leader in on-demand lawn mowing. It's okay. GreenPal is a lawn mowing app that allows local pre-screened landscaping pros to competitively bid on lawns. So apparently it started in 2012. And I did, and the founder says I did the landscaping when I was in middle school, high school, and college. I did it for extra money. I even did it to buy my first car, and I enjoyed it. Wow, man, you can't buy. It's hard to buy a car with a. My first job was out of college in sales, and my territory was the West Coast, so I would be. So I'd hear all these business ideas like Airbnb, Uber, and then thought, hey, I think people who would do this. I think people would do this with landscaping. He said his first market was in Nashville, or as Kenny calls it, Crashville, and that they're now present in all 50 states. Huh. This is quite interesting. The app is user-friendly, and then that vendors do not need to visit the property because they can view pictures of it through Google Street View and see square footage. These guys, Greg, they bid by the square footage. What do you think?
Some guys can do that, and I just kind of look at a lawn and kind of figure out how much I think it's going to cost me. Now, I have mixed opinions on this because sometimes I'll look at a lawn and I know it's going to be a double-cut lawn just because it's as thick as it is. And when you're looking at an app like that, that might be a little difficult to be able to do. So that's the downside of that for me. And the other thing is I like to be able to go up to the client and meet the client. And
that's how you got route density right there, is by meeting people. We talk about this all the time. But it's good to go back. People want to talk about, hey, how do I get more lawns in my area? Half the battle is being able to talk. I mean, We'll talk about this on every show, Greg, because it's true, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picked up a new client yesterday, and
He picked up, guys, hear this. He picked up a client in October.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'll probably cut their lawn 5 times because that lawn is a little bit thick and long. So I couldn't cut it yesterday because they had moving trucks coming in. I was cutting the lawn next door. And my client came outside and he's chatting with me for a couple of minutes, and he went next door to start talking to the new neighbor. And while I was standing there, while I was talking to my client, I said, "Yeah, I should give him my card." He says, "Yeah, you should. I'm going to talk to him right now." So while I was cutting the lawn, I just stopped, saw my client talking to the guy. So that's the opportune time to go up, and walked up, handed the guy my card, and the guy just looked at me and said, "How much is it?" And I told him, he says, "You're in." And so it was that easy to be able to pick them up. So granted, now I've got 5 houses in that neighborhood. I would love to pick up more in that neighborhood because they're not big lawns. And right now I'm at $50 a lawn. But guys, you can still pick up accounts.
Greg's still doing it. This app, though, it says more. As soon as the service is requested, the vendors will post a price for their services. Then the homeowner can see the vendor's ratings, reviews, and price and decide who they want to work based on that criteria. He said that when the work is done, the vendor takes pictures of the completed lawn, uploads them through GreenPal. They're sent to the homeowner for view.
They can't look out there and see themselves.
I guess it's for people who are not home. Over 30% of GreenPal customers are over the age of 60. There you go, Greg. Greg, this demographic is particularly vulnerable to health risks and greatly benefits for added safety and convenience provided by our platform. Will they even know how to use it? Not counting the old Greg, but some of these new apps would be kind of hard to use, right? Okay, here we go, guys. Really interesting. He said typically across the U.S., prices range from $42 to $53 for a lawn. I think that's pretty standard. What do you think?
Okay, that's if you can get that, $50 I think as a minimum is what you should be charging for your lawns and anything new. Now the downside about Lawn Gurus is sometimes. And it could be with the others as well, is you're not getting the full effect of the lawn, and then sometimes they're taking their cut. Lawn Gurus has to take their cut. I don't know what their percentage is, but you might bid the job at $45, and Lawn Gurus is probably they got to be taking at least 20%, and so they're charging the client. Let me see, if you're at easy math, let's say they're at $50. And they need to take 20%, so that means they're going to be charging the client $60. You're getting $50. But the downside of that is I had a guy that I picked up a couple of years ago. He says, I got these Lawn Guru. I've been using them, and they just don't cut well. And I said, well, how much were they charging? He says, like $35. I said, you're not a $35 lawn. And they were way undercharging. And so the guys get there and they look at how much work they got to do on that guy's lawn, and they're frustrated. So they just hurry through the job and get it done.
That's half the problem is people hurrying. Quick thing about GreenPal, Greg. There's no surcharge, no convenience fees, or anything like that. We invite everyone to take advantage of the best landscaping professionals from a GreenPal app. So maybe there's some pretty classy guys going on this app. So we can check out GreenPal, guys, if you want to. No, we're not sponsored. Okay, Greg, let's hit the next story about Newcastle here, right? This is interesting. This is where our buddy, well, at least his name, Andy Wilson of The Lawn Hustle, lives in Newcastle, Indiana. But this one, I think this might just be a name, right, of a
Newcastle Lawn and Landscape. But they're out of I think out of Pennsylvania, Newcastle, Pennsylvania. There's Reading, Pennsylvania is where the byline is. But these guys are Newcastle Lawn and Landscape. They are expanding their property purchase. So that's kind of interesting. As we were talking about expanding and growing your business, these guys expanded their property by 12 acres, another 12 acres, and next to their headquarters, and it'll be able to support their additional parking and staging areas. And now, let's see, install an on-site fuel station. Their company is growing, and they wanted to be able to expand it by, adding 12 acres. That's a lot. That's a big chunk of property that they're going to add. So they need to be able to grow their business. They want to deliver a higher level of service while continuing our mission to positively impact 100,000 lives. Wow. So they really want to grow. They do some work with this. Let's see, whether it's creating career paths for our employees that break the stereotypes of the landscape industry, and we've talked about some of the guys that you see out here in landscaping, are partnering with organizations like United Way, John Paul II, Caring Treatment Centers, and Greater Berks Development Fund to support those in need. So they're giving back to the community as well. So that's neat for them to be able to do that. But they went I don't know how many acres they had before, but just by growing 12 acres, they're going to be getting a lot more equipment in. They're going to be growing a lot more, and so good for them to be able to do something like that.
I mean, think about it though. Purchased 12 additional acres strictly to expand their operations, Greg. Like, that's scaling. This is scaling, and there's guys that have that $1 million mindset here, and there's nothing wrong with having that. Just got to do it the right way, and more power to these guys if they can be lean and mean and grow. For yard space, equipment. I mean, they must be doing a lot more than mowing. You think?
Yeah. What do they include hardscaping and outdoor living design, which is huge.
That's huge. Okay, for that. I mean, Greg, we should totally ditch mowing and just hop right into hardscapes, right? Hey guys, if you're a hardscaper who listens, let's break into it, because here's the deal. Like, a lot of money, Greg, you would say, is made in that, but the problem is equipment. You gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, and that equipment is expensive, and you got to be able to use it. They're also doing commercial property maintenance and snow removal, tree services, and plant health care. So these guys have really, they've taken over just a market. They've really expanded and they're growing. So they're just offering as many opportunities to their clients as they can. Hey, why, you don't want to do that. Let me go ahead and take care of that for you. I had one of my clients the other day asked me if I could do some tree trimming for them. And I noticed she asked me if I knew any tree services, and I said, well, let me take a look at it first. Maybe it's something I can do. And when I got there, I found that she had a couple of branches that were hanging over gutters. And I said, I appreciate it, but I don't want to have to deal with a gutter. It's a big enough branch that I don't necessarily have the right equipment that I'm going to have to be replacing a gutter for you after I'm done trimming. So I did refer her to one of my clients or one of my tree guys, and that's important, guys. Get to know some other services, and if you know a tree guy, get to know a tree guy. If you're not going to get into this stuff, if you know a landscaping guy, get a good relationship.
That's so right. Yeah.
Get a good relationship with a landscaping guy. I've got a guy that I refer landscaping work to. One of my other clients called me up. They wanted some big shrubs removed, and they asked me about doing that. And And I said, send me some pictures of it. Let me see. And she sent me some pictures, and I said, nope, that's too big for me. So I referred her to a guy I know, and he was out there, and I don't know, a week or two, he was out there removing they were some pretty big size trees and shrubs. So she had some 10-foot arborvitaes, and there were, I don't know, 4 or 5 of those, and then she had a couple other big shrubs that needed to be removed. And I didn't have the equipment to be able to remove those. So I was glad. That's why it was good to know a good landscaper. Tree service guy, he was out there taking care of the other client the other day.
Well, that's great. That's totally great about networking, Greg, because Greg and I, we're slowly trying to expand our services, but the proper way, because we don't want to upscale and then just go in debt. But this is a great transition, Greg, onto the very 5th story. We already covered this in a previous episode that we did a while ago, Greg, but why don't we touch on this one more time just to kind of remind the guys, because this industry is a lot bigger than we think. It's big time, like lawn care and landscaping market growth. Just to kind of, let's tickle these guys one more time with these numbers here.
Yeah, so lawn care landscaping market growth projected, I think these are the same numbers that we used before, if I recall right. The broader U.S. lawn care market is expected to go from $58 billion in 2024. It's projected to reach $89 billion by 2033. So you're looking at a significant growth. You're looking at $32 billion in market growth in just 9 years. So you're looking at almost $4 billion a year for market growth. So that's pretty substantial. So you got guys like that couple and McKee, and then we did the last story we just talked about. These guys are expanding their business. Good for them, because we're going to see a $32 billion growth over the next 9 years.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, 57.7 in 2024 to 89.47 by 2023. That's like 5% almost.
Yeah.
I think globally the lawn care market, is projected to climb from 118 billion in 2024 to 214 billion by 2034. It's a 6% increase.
Yeah. Actually, that's more than that.
Yeah.
So
that's a CAGR 6.1. Yeah. Huh.
That's 100% growth.
Yeah.
And then in the other one, you're looking at roughly 35% in just the U.S. growth. So those are some pretty substantial increases that we got guys that say, I don't know if I want to get into the lawn care market, because there's so many guys out there driving their trucks around, so many lawn guys that just added an account in October. And so that
people are saying like they can't find work, Greg, but this is projected. Our industry is going to get stupid huge, basically.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to get huge.
Works out there, and we have these younger, I guess my generation, I'm 34, you have these younger people moving in. I cut for a couple young people, Greg. They don't even want to deal with their yard. They just have me cut it.
Yeah.
Prime example. So Greg and I, we can swoop in and then just get all these young couples who are moving into these $500,000 homes, and that's where we're really going to make our money, so we can land the plane and encourage you guys that, hey, there's a lot of work out there, even lawns. Don't think that you're just the only fish there out there in the deep, the deep blue sea, because trust me, Greg, you're not. There's too many chucking the trucks and in-debt Dans out there.
Yeah.
It's just giving us a bad look.
And if you're doing a good job, your business is going to grow. And that's like you just said, the chucking the trucks. Those guys, they're just out there to try and get as many things as they can. They're rushing to the next job because they're not charging enough, so they need to be able to make more money. So they rush through the lawn. And again, I've said it before, that's how I picked up my first 17 lawns when I started 6 years ago. Every single one of those people said, these guys are going too fast, they're tearing up my lawn. And then I picked up the guy yesterday, I'm still picking him up, where the guy next door, because my client was over and I could see they were looking at me talking. And that's when I knew it was my cue to go over and talk to the guy and hand him my card. And because I knew my client just told him, hey, he does a great job for him. So that's the reputation that you're looking for.
That nose got, well, I I can't talk. I think I'm
that
battling some
nose?
more on that nose and on that note. That's a great way to put it, guys. We hope you enjoyed this, and we're getting all giddy and all excited for the Expo this upcoming week or the next episode. Greg, we'll do a fun episode planned revolving all around the Expo. We have some stuff planned, guys. So thanks. Oh yeah, by the way, rate the show. We only take 5 stars only, Greg, because that's what our work is. It's excellent 5-star mowing.
Look for us on YouTube, Spotify,
We're
Apple.
almost at 1,000 subs, so
Yeah.
follow, help us get to that 1K sub, but then we have to get our watch hours up. Hey, we're putting up new videos on the Turf Nerds YouTube channel. It's not just podcasts, right, Greg?
That's right. Yeah, we got podcasts, we got lives, we have...
we go live Monday and Wednesday nights around 8:30ish, give or take. I don't fall asleep or you don't fall asleep, so we both get on there yawny, right?
Yeah. Hey, don't forget about Green Frog Web Design as well.
Oh, yeah,
Talk
Ezra.
to Ezra and see what he can do to help you grow your business. We got these two businesses that are growing their business, and it's an opportunity for you to, if you want to get big like some of these guys are, especially huge. We want to get you get in touch with Ezra, and he'll get you on that front page so that you can grow your business like that.
He's a good guy. We should have spoke about him earlier. I just flat out forgot. So sorry, Ezra, but no, he won't care. So great guy. All right, guys, thanks. We'll see you in the next one.